Hey guys, this is Melissa and this is my 36-week blog of my first pregnancy. And I just did a blog about my 36-week baby buys. I had a really wonderful friend go out and take me and out shopping, and she bought me everything I'm going to need for the first few weeks of having a baby, which is really wonderful. So please have a look at that if you are still scrambling around trying to figure out what you need for those first few weeks. So we'll get started about what's going on this week and as my pregnancy has progressed. Last time I told you I was going to go to the doctor and get a test done. I didn't know the name of the test, but the test was called Group B Streptococcus. And in this test, they had to get a swab, a Q-tip, and swab basically front to back on me downstairs. And it wasn't as horrible as I thought. I thought they were really going to like get in there and swab around, but it was really just surface level, and they're testing me to see if I have a form of bacteria. About 50% of people have this type of bacteria, this Streptococcus bacteria, and it's basically, if you're positive for it, which I don't know yet, I haven't heard the results from the test. If you're positive for it, they'll give you antibiotics so that you don't pass it on to your baby. Apparently it can cause some breathing problems during labor, or you can pass it during labor, and then from there on the baby can have breathing problems. So it's just a precaution. It wasn't that bad. So if you're afraid about that test, I'm sorry if I scared you last time. It's not that bad. What was bad, and what always will be bad, is getting your cervix checked. This was sort of exciting in a way because they're telling me that at 35, 36 weeks, that's when you can start dilating, which I am so ignorant. I had no idea that you could start being, dilating this early on. I thought that was sort of like the day of, or maybe the day before you have your baby. But from now on, every time I go to the doctor, they're going to check to see how far dilated I am. And I'm not dilated at all. She checked me, and my cervix is closed, which is a good sign, because I'm not quite due for a few more weeks. But the encouraging thing is that they told me if I went into labor now, they're not going to stop it, because it just means the baby's ready, which is like such a cool feeling to know that I am actually, very close to the end, and the baby would be totally fine. But just, it's always best to try to keep it in there as long as it is, as long as you're not at your due date yet. And the doctor was gone. My doctor, his name was Dr. Henderson. He's like a really big guy, really big and friendly guy, okay? And I have no problem with him. But this little doctor, she was a little woman that did this cervix check. That really hurt. Getting that done, really was uncomfortable. She basically put 2 fingers in, and then she checked my cervix, and I was like, this is so uncomfortable, and you're a tiny woman, and this dude is about to do this every week now, and I'm just like, ugh, what have I done to myself? What have I gotten myself into? If I'm worried about getting my cervix checked, like, if that's painful, then what have I done? But to be fair, to be honest, I have absolutely, realistically, I have no fears when it comes to labor. I have accepted it's going to hurt. But then we're going to have a baby. And I'm just not afraid. I'm not afraid. A lot of women freak out about this kind of stuff. I'm not an earth mother. I'm not granola. We're going to do an epidural. I have never heard a doctor say that an epidural, I've asked doctors and they always say it's completely safe, and the only reason women don't like to do it is because their mothers have said don't do it, or their grandmothers have said, oh, you can go without it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get an epidural. I'm going to probably go into active labor, or whatever stage that is in. I'm going to go until I can, and then I'm going to get an epidural if it's at all possible, because why not? If you can tell me why not, then I will listen to your opinion. But I'm going to go for it, because, if you go to the dentist, you're going to want to get painkiller. Why would you go through labor without painkiller? I don't understand. So we're going to get an epidural. One thing that I think is really silly and is sort of a waste of energy is trying to put together a birth plan, because that's just getting your hopes up. I mean, and trying to set your standards for a perfect thing. Well, what if it doesn't go the way you want? You know, which it hardly ever does. And then you get your heart broken. And so many women want to have this big emotional moment with their baby, you know. Well, it's wonderful. That's great. And you want to be healthy, and you want to be good for the baby and not give it an epidural, and you want to, you know, not have a C-section. You want to have everything natural. Well, you know what, honey? 4 or 5 years down the line, you're taking that kid to McDonald's. You are. And you know what? You know you slipped. You had some Coke last week. You Coca-Cola, not like the drug or anything, but Coca-Cola. And you're just, why does everyone want to be so earthy during that moment in their life when they don't ever recycle, they don't eat anything organic, they aren't vegans? Why do they have to be so natural at that moment? I'm sorry for the rant, but I mean, come on, a birth plan, that's just so crazy to me. I mean, it's a fad, and it's not gonna last. It's not gonna last. Whoever came up with the concept. But you know what, some people, they are type A personalities, and they have to have control over the situation. Go for it, girl. Write your birth plan. I hope it goes well for you. I'm just gonna go with the flow. And at the end of the day, I want a healthy, happy baby, just like everyone else. So how we get there doesn't really make any difference. The doctors are smart. They've gone to college for like a billion years. They know what they're doing. That's how I feel. Sorry, rant's over. Let's see here. No birth plans starting. Okay, right. Okay, this week, I'm going to attempt to start my hospital bag. This is something I do like to do. This is something I'm a little bit like retentive about. I love packing for things. I love preparing for things. I like thinking about snacks that we're going to want in the hospital, and maybe treats that I give my husband. And one thing that we're doing that I'm really excited about, this is a really cool idea. My mom came up with it. Every time I dilate a centimeter, Dan and I are going to swap presents. So we're going to have 10 presents for each other. And some of the things, you know, I don't have the list with me. Maybe next week I'll have collected some of these presents. They're nothing big at all. It's actually things that he's going to need, things that I'm going to need. Nothing big at all. One of the things I'm going to give him is some socks. So that kind of stuff. But it's, you know, if you wrap it up and you make it special, and then it's something to look forward to. Every time you're 1 centimeter dilated more, you're like, oh, you know, here's something fun to look forward to. So let's see how that goes down. I might be like screaming my flipping head off, and I might have no interest at all in whatever present he has. He might have a car waiting for me, and I might just be so like out of it that I won't care. But it's the thought, right? It's the thought that counts. So, let's see here. You know what's really funny? Every time we go to the doctor's office, I should really give you a video of my husband. If you look at all my old videos, you can hear my husband talk. My husband is the sweetest, most wonderful, wonderful person, and he's English. So he's got this really strong English accent. And of course, I don't hear it anymore. I can only hear it every now and then. And I don't get to. I've lived in England for so long that the novelty is really not there for me. But every time we go to the doctor's office, all of the nurses stop working and they come over to talk to Dan. And I just let him answer every one of the questions because he's such like a celebrity at the doctor's office. People don't remember me at all. They only remember my husband. And like what's really funny is like we were the least punctual people on the planet. And so we don't mean to be. We try. We really do try. But the last 3 doctor's visits we've been late. And so I'm like, Dan, call them and let them know. And once he calls them and opens up that pretty little mouth of his and starts speaking an English accent, they're like, oh, sweetheart, that's fine. You just come in whenever you're able to, okay? And when he comes in, they all chat with him. I mean, I literally have to like drag him out of there. He's like in heaven because all of these women are like, blah, 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 blah. Let me hear you talk. It's funny. I'm glad that I'm a secure woman because otherwise I could see why people would be really jealous. But it's just really funny how people react to English accents, and I have no idea what our child will sound like. I mean, probably not English. Probably will sound like American because that's where we are. But we'll see. Let's see here. Breastfeeding, right. So the only thing I am like really I'm going to try to really do, it's going to be a good thing, I feel like, is try to breastfeed. I don't understand. Now, I'm an ignorant first-time mom. I do not understand. Why is it so hard? I'm not, like, criticizing you or anyone you know. My mother didn't breastfeed with me. My grandmother didn't breastfeed with her. My husband's mother didn't breastfeed with her. None of my, like, hardly anybody I'm related to or hardly anybody I know has breastfed their baby. And they always say it's hard. And it's like, what? Where's the difficulty? Where's the struggle so that I can, like, prepare myself for that? Because I don't see how is, like, waking up and there's my cradle. When the baby cries in the middle of the night, and I pick that baby up, and I hold it to my breast, and I feed it, and then I burp it, and I love it, and then I put it back to bed. Why is that harder than getting up and making a bottle and doing the same thing, feeding it and burping it and putting it back to bed? Why is that harder? So I know the first few weeks are hard because your flow isn't there, I guess, but other than that, I don't really know. So tell me, comments, please let me know. Why was it hard for you? I'm going to try really hard for the first 2 or 3 weeks to not even express milk, just on the breastfeeding. And then once my flow is sort of going and I'm keeping up with good supply, then I might express so that my husband, my other, my family members can feed the baby. And so we'll see. I'm being flexible. I really don't want to formula feed. I've got some reasons for that. Of course, it's awesome for the baby to breastfeed. It's awesome for the baby. There's so many great benefits down the line and right now to breastfeed. Even if you just get that colostrum in the baby, you're setting it up for, like, you're having immunities in that colostrum that's going to be there for, like, ever. So there's so many good things about breastfeeding. Also, there's great things about breastfeeding for the mother. It helps reduce the chance of osteoporosis, or I've heard of cervical cancer and breast cancer and all those other types of cancer. It helps you lose weight, which is like an immediate reason why you should want to breastfeed, to help you lose that baby weight. And two main reasons for me is because, one, I'm really lazy, and I think getting up and making a bottle is more effort. And two, I'm a cheapskate, and boobs are free. They're there. The milk's available. So those are my two main reasons, honestly. It's nothing, I mean, I'm not a super mom yet. I will be one day when I know what the heck I'm doing. But honestly, that's like the big thing for me. I'm lazy and I'm cheap, and it's there. So go for it. So anyways, I've been a little bit controversial today. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry about that. Let's do the belly button. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I just watched a video that I did a couple weeks ago, and I look bigger even just from a couple weeks ago. And I'm wondering if my belly has dropped to its prey. I'm sorry. Okay, so here's my iPod Touch. I don't want you guys to think that I went out and bought an iPod. I didn't. Not that these are really expensive. My mother-in-law generously gave this to us so that we could keep in contact with her when we have the baby, because, of course, she's in England. And this is great for FaceTime. So, anyways, iPod Touch. Don't be distracted by the fact that you are in the mirror. Anyways, here's the belly. 36 weeks. Have I dropped? Can you tell me? And also, do you think it's a boy or a girl? I've had so many people, I want to say no less than 10 people, tell me they think it's a boy, simply based on the shape of my stomach. And I thought they were full of baloney until I Googled. What I did was I Googled image pregnant women's tummies. And then I said, Mom, I want you to guess, is this woman having a boy or having a girl? And 9 out of 10 times, she was right. She could tell if it was high, it was a girl. If it was low, it was a boy. So, anyways, I guess that might be one what's that called? Wives' tale? That is true. Old wives' tale, that's it. Oh, before I go, I want to show you something. Right, we are not unpacked at all. Like, this living room, I'll show you my living room. It is not a functioning living room at all. We don't have anything except for bits and pieces of paper. That was our table for a really long time. Now it's just, we have a little bitty table over here. But you see this little couch? It was given to us. It's facing the wall now. Sometimes I sleep on it when my back hurts. We were lend this couch for a little bit. Next time we have a video, next time I'm going to do a vlog, we'll have a new couch. And I'm so excited because we got it for such a wonderful deal. But I will tell you about that next time. So, yes. Anyways, it's been an epically long video and I'm very sorry. But have a wonderful week. I'll see you next week. Mwah.